Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Hill Heat. And I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble episode 75. The king is dead. Long live the king. This is the longest title that we've had in quite some time.
It is quite a bit.
I am here with a man of 47,000 subscribers. He's got a small Mexican family in his house right now making noise in the background. He is the man you go to for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticism of Tony Khan every single Thursday. He is Jimmy Macram.
Hello, ladies and gents. How are you? Anything special happened recently? Besides fucking horrific names?
Oh. What horrific names? What are you upset about?
Monet. Shut up. I love Mercedes. I love Sasha. But
why are you hating on the name for? I like the name.
Yeah.
She's gonna. You can bank on that. You can bank on Monet. I love it.
It's gotta be. That's gotta be part of her deal, right? It's part of her fucking
WWE. Yeah, to get out of her
January,
WWE.
You can't use Sasha. You can't use Banks. You can't use fucking anything. Fair enough.
Hey, she got her release. She's in New Japan. I know you're happy that now you have a reason to watch New Japan.
I know, right? You see her? Good Lord.
And
she might look even better than us.
You should have heard the reactions in the live chat of Elite Heat when I wrote breaking news. Jimmy Macram has watched Omega versus Osprey. Huge props. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, the new era, new look of AEW Dynamite, the January 4th edition from Seattle, Washington. First time they were there in Seattle. Of course, if you are joining us for the first time, welcome to AEWramble. We are here every Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, reviewing AEW Dynamite as only we can. The most unique, the most unfiltered, and the most honest AEW Dynamite review on Wrestling YouTube. So if you haven't already, drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We want to hear from all of you. Of course, if you're feeling generous and you want to make sure that we highlight your comment, because we'll try to highlight as many comments as possible, but to make sure you want your highlight read on screen, you wanted to hear our thoughts of myself and Jimmy, Super Chat donation is the best way to do that. We're trying to start off the year huge with Super Chat donations. We have a goal of a certain amount, which I will let you know on Saturday for True Hill Heat 207. We're trying to hit for January and going forward. So help us out, start us on that right path.
If that's the case, I hope the Jaguars make the playoffs to help with the score.
that would definitely help. Like you know, we root for the Jaguars here on AEWramble because that's how we get off. We get our friends, you know. And see, I'm gonna pull back the curtain because we're honest here on AEWramble. So I did a show over on New Year's Eve with the fellows over at Fightful Overbook, Jeremy Lambert, my co-host for FMC, where we talk about non-wrestling. And one of the comments basically was like, Jeremy, they asked me, SP3, would you ever do a podcast with Jeremy and Jimmy? And he was like, oh, I don't know who Jimmy is. He knows a lot of the people from True Hill. He doesn't know Jimmy. And I had to explain to him the concept of AEWramble is that, you only watch AEW. You just started watching wrestling again 3 years ago when Dynamite started. You only watch AEW, but yet you hate Tony Khan. You hate a lot of the booking decisions, and they basically have like an Earth 2 version of that with WWE, with Alex Pulowski of Sour Graps, and he reviews WWE shows, but he hates everything. So they call it Sour Graps over there. And Joe Pearl of Fightful was like, I've been wanting to do an AEW Sour Grabs. He's like, that sounds exactly like that. And I was like, maybe it does. So I was like, if Jimmy's willing to, go on Fightful, go on a bigger platform of Fightful and get some, I'm trying to get him paid. I'm trying to get Jimmy paid for all his people.
Yeah, I can talk about Tony Khan some more. Cut the check.
There we go. Joe Pearl, Jeremy, expect the video in the DMs. It is coming, y'all. We got in the live chat here with us CM, who says, New Year, no undue disclaimers. I never give an undue. Always do here. We got Rady, who says, hello, True Hill Heat. We got Frantic World, who says, what's up, SP3, Jimmy, and Chad. Dynamite was really good last night. We got Belle, who says hello from someone who's going through it in terms of making decisions right now.
Oh,
Belle, we are here for you. Don't worry, sister. We are here for you. And I hope we can keep you entertained and keep you distracted as you think about those decisions. We got CM automatically saying that's a deserved disclaimer. What did you really?
You see how fast they turn on you? You see that? Jesus, that took 12 seconds. All right. Why? Because that a horrible name? I didn't do it.
You said
87th name she could have picked.
You said bad about Mercedes. It's a wrap. Rickety says the CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I did like the going from boss to CEO. That was clever.
That's cute.
That was clever. If it was just Mercedes Moné, I think I would be with you. But just the way it's out, the CEO Mercedes Moné, I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The CEO makes it better for me.
What's wrong with her name?
Huh?
What's wrong with her name?
Bernardo. You know white people and Japanese people ain't gonna know how to say Bernardo. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna be like, I'm not being racist, y'all. I'm just being real, y'all. Like, we know. Come on, let's be real here. You know too. He was like, I don't know. I'm not Kyrie. Oh man, it's some great stuff. So what did you think outside of the name of Mercedes' debut for New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Oh, just her debut?
Yeah.
She looks like even more of a star than she was before. People don't understand this, but before I returned to wrestling 3 years ago, I was forced against my will, because that's how that works, to go to a fucking NXT show, and fucking I hadn't watched one episode of NXT. But Brooklyn Takeover, I saw fucking Banks and Bailey.
Yeah.
And I went. First of all, I don't know who this little girl is, but I love her, number one. And number two, I'm going to now watch everything she's ever done. And I did. And I'm so happy she's here. She looks like an even bigger star than usual. What the hell is going on here? I loved it. I'm such a fan. Splendid. I'm so happy she's here. Outside of name.
And we're going to talk about it if we might see her in AEW. If not, we'll talk about how they address that on this episode. One Mike Nation says it's that time of the day where I stop working and hear Jimmy trash TK. Yes. I have so many people who tell me either in the comments or in DMs that they literally are at work and get in trouble at work laughing from our reviews. So Hey, this is what we're
Absolutely.
good. We're here for. Frantic World with a question for you, Jimmy, saying, did Jimmy like or love Kenny versus Will Ospreay?
In a vacuum, I loved it. Compared to everybody else, I just liked it. Apparently, I thought I loved it. I loved that match. Then I heard everybody else like, "Oh, maybe I just like it." All right, fair enough.
I think I put it in the right terms for you when we discussed it yesterday. I was like, yeah, most people think Meltzer's gonna break the scale again, but I was like,
Yes.
it's clearly a 5-star match in my opinion, and that's been the consensus.
Okay, sure.
Oh, we got
Meltzer's scale is definitely a 5-star match. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Easily.
No, on my scale, it's a perfect match. Simeon,
how is it
perfect?
We'll get
Perfect.
We'll
It
get
was perfect.
It's
Jimmy,
not perfect. It
yes,
can't
it
be perfect.
It was
Did you not
perfect.
see? First of all, I'm gonna say
Perfect.
something. I know it's
Perfect. I'm sorry because it's perfect. It's perfect because of the Kenny Omega foot stomp spot and him saying, "Here's
That's a great
Kenny."
spot. It's a great spot. His slamming his head to the table is an even better spot.
Looks like a murder scene. The DDT on the
so
turnbuckle is one of the most vicious things I've ever seen.
This is where I'm at. That's my favorite spot in the match, and it ruins Ospreay for the rest of the match. It's great, and then he hits a turnbuckle again, and after that, he's fine a minute later. That bothered me. I can't get past that part. I can't get past. Okay. I mean, I can't get past it to give it 5. I gave it 4 3/4.
I loved his selling of it though. When he was trying to get offense and he
slipped,
stumbled, it slipped. That was great.
I know people love Kenny, but I watched that thinking, I think this guy's a little better right now. No disrespect. I thought Ospreay's a little better. It's his match to me.
Mm-hmm. It's his selling. His facial expressions that really drive everything up a notch. It's so good. But this Kenny is the killer Kenny that got everybody on his side in New Japan. It was a different Kenny than what we see on Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, certainly. The one that bites arms and does a whole bunch of goofy shit. That one? Yeah. Certainly different.
We got Ace who says, "What's up, SP3, Jimmy, and chat?" We also got CM who says, "Nope, the explanation of Christmas Disclaimer was wrong. Be glad you didn't get the Valentine's Day origin story." I said it before, I'll say it again. I never am mad with when Jimmy wants to educate y'all. It was the level of snark. And sarcasm.
Snarky before. Awesome.
The level of snark and sarcasm that came with the truth, that is what got him the disclaimer. I'm very specific on this though. CM says, "We don't mock the great Monet dancing to yo, that crisscross beat was awesome." I'm sorry. I saw people saying the song is terrible. I'm sorry. I was like, it's crisscross. What are we talking about?
To watch her pose in the ring. Something to me. All right, we're gonna focus. This is a classy show here. Good Lord, I was so distracted. Is this okay? Like, is this okay for her to do this? Like that? I'm not complaining.
See, it says, "I have a hard time thinking anyone could force Jimmy to do a goddamn thing."
That's fair. I would say I was bugged into it. That's a better way to put it.
This is true. And it's Jimmy. We expect it.
I think I'll take that defense.
And Frantic World says that DDT was crazy, dude. I gotta watch that. I'm gonna rewatch that match again before tomorrow.
I kind of want to then. I gotta see if I can find another fucking quarter of a star somewhere.
Quarter of a star somewhere. He's like, I'm going 4 3/4 until I can find that extra quarter. Let's talk about last night's AEW Dynamite from Seattle, Washington. Their first time in Seattle. What did you think about the crowd last night?
They were great. Apparently, we only need to go to places where there's nothing else to do. We have to stay away from New York and the East Coast. We only go to Seattle. Fucking slave states. That's where we should go. That's it. No other place. Wisconsin, I guess, would be next. Now we're gonna move up. Kansas. A whole bunch of fucking not places. No offense. All these places, I'm just saying.
Whole bunch of not places, Jimmy.
We can't go to New York or fucking France or fucking LA. Ugh, Seattle. Ugh.
No, when you go to New York, you gotta go to fucking Queens. I gotta get on the 7 train. Not even the convenient part of Queens. I gotta get on the goddamn 7 train. What did you think about the new intro? It's got the same song, same pacing, but a different intro, different accents to it. What did you think?
Yeah, I was built up so much and it was over in a second. I was like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Let's get to it. Fair enough.
He was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be new and longer. It was just the same pace.
Right?
Is this different colors? That's cool. Okay,
That's
moving
it.
on. What did you think about the new set?
I actually do like the set. What the fuck did Nyla Rose call it? She called it something. I died laughing. It was just the perfect description of it. I wish I remembered the tweet. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine for what it is.
Yes.
I like it more than the other one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna miss the tunnels. I'm sorry. I just got used to the tunnels. The tunnels was always cool, and the fact that Brian never wanted to change tunnels. That's always popped me for some reason. Brian's insistence on still walking down the hill.
I never turned face.
You say so. Great stuff. But that's the only thing I'm gonna miss from the set. I think everything looked very sleek and professional. It looked a level up from what we've been getting the past 3 years. So that was on the good point. So we started off the show with Chris Jericho coming out to Judas, got a good reaction from the Seattle crowd, and he's going one-on-one for the first time ever with Ricky Starks. Of course, it's a big match for Ricky Starks, so he's got to have one of those slick intros where he looks like he's about to perform some actions, either sing an R&B song or make some loving to a woman that he's walking in the bedroom to, and Ricky comes out. Man, this entrance looks so much better with this whole set design.
Right.
Yo, dead ass how the screen is behind them. It almost looked like Ricky was sitting down behind the screen. It didn't look like it was an actual video. It looked like he was sitting down and that was the shadow.
It was so cool. That was fucking great.
So cool. And this
what's the guy's name? The new Kevin Dunn?
Mike Mansiri.
Mike something.
Yeah. Mike Mansiri. Yeah.
Keep it up, Mike.
Dude, and like I said, we've been peeping it over the last couple of weeks. The big part, I think it was Will Washington of Grab City said it on Twitter. It's the sound. Every one of these shows, because you remember last week our whole debate about whether December was a great month of shows, and we did prove that it was. And the bigger difference is it once again feels like all these party crowds everywhere they go to. I think he's done something with the sound mixing, which has brought back that feel.
It's a shame he doesn't control the budget because we couldn't afford microphones.
Well, Ricky was looking good here. His usual pose, walk on the rope. Jericho gained the advantage after a nice little snap suplex off the apron to the floor. Ricky sold that very well, and then his back became the focus of Chris Jericho's attack. Eventually, he after a couple of exchanges where Ricky hit a nice little sit-out power bomb for a 2, he blocked a code breaker and hit a super kick for another 2 count. Jericho got him down and then was about to hit the Judas effect. Ricky blocked and went for Rochambeau, but Jericho was able to reverse it into the walls of Jericho. It looked like Ricky was going to get to the ropes when Cool Hand got on the apron to distract Aubrey Edwards. With that distraction, Daddy Magic nails Ricky with the bat. And at this point, Jimmy, I was like, oh man, I was like, Jericho's going to win. I was like, it does protect Ricky with the way it's happened. And then they do the 3-hand spot, which is, I love that spot. It doesn't matter how old I've been. It's been since I was a kid. I always loved that spot. I used to love it when Hulk Hogan would waggle his finger on the third one. I used to love The Rock raising his hand at the last minute. And Jimmy, that's what Ricky did in this one, getting his hand up, avoiding the referee stoppage with his hand going down for the 3rd time. Eventually, he takes care of the 2.0 on the apron, and he hits Jericho with a huge spear to get the win. I love this. I love this match because it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was very solid type of matchup, but the crowd elevated everything. The crowd was so red hot for Ricky, getting behind him, rally behind him. They were allowed throughout this matchup, and especially for the Walls of Jericho false finish. After the match, the Jericho Appreciation Society jumped Ricky. They get the numbers game on him. Action Andretti comes down to make the save with the steel chair, but the numbers game gets to him after Ty Mello nails him with a low blow. The Jericho Appreciation Society take out Action Andretti with a steel chair and then set up a table at ringside where Jake Hager delivers a power bomb off the apron on Ricky through the table at ringside. This right here with Ricky getting his arm down first was very reminiscent of 1 year ago with Ray Phoenix. So I was watching it back. I didn't watch it the first time, and then someone brought that to my attention, and then I got this picture and then rewatched it, and I was like, yeah, that was pretty close. I hope
that could have gone fucking horribly.
Exactly, and this would be the worst time for Ricky to get injured because he's in a hot program. I think Jericho is very, very much seems dedicated to getting him over, but this whole post-match angle was to continue the rivalry as we head probably towards Revolution, maybe another singles match. I think right now it kind of seems like they're trying to shape up maybe a tag team match with Andretti and Ricky versus Jericho Appreciation Society. Hopefully that's on TV and we get a step for Ricky Jericho 2. But what did you think overall of this match and the post-match here?
I love this match. Love the strong, especially since I just used it for Ospreay. That seems odd. I really like this match. It was a very good match, though I have to say, that Walls of Jericho spot might be one of my favorite spots in a long while. It's that whole sequence of the walls, him about to tap, him getting close, back in it, fucking the three hands. I loved everything about it. I gotta be honest. Jericho gave him way more than I thought he was. I would imagine this is going to be Jericho's redemption arc, where he pretends like he's the one that got Ricky Starks over, instead of the fact that Starks has been over for forever at this point. But whatever. I'll take. Hey, if that's what it takes, I'll take it. Do what you want. I gotta be honest. We'll talk about the pacing of this show, which I thought was much better than usual. Nothing stepped on each other. It was all good. I do want to talk about the pacing of the booking, however, because we know Dummy's not great at that. I definitely would have saved the beatdown for next week. To me, it stepped all over Starks' moment. He just beat Chris Jericho, and
this was his biggest win because he beat Jericho with a 3-on-1 advantage too. This was his biggest. Damn. This is not only the biggest win of his AEW career, just probably the biggest win of his career because this made him look like a world beater type of babyface.
Right. And this is great. He's found his niche here. I gotta give Dummy credit for that. With that whole tournament he went through, the shoulder, it was
yeah.
Romeo made me laugh and brought me down at the same time.
He says, "Remember, this is just month 1 of this 9-month feud."
I forgot about that. It's a little thing. Fair enough.
This is true. We got Rickety talking about the new set, new graphics, and new color are brighter. Frantic World says the new look is really good. Then CM says them getting beaten up in the tunnel. Yeah, that was always. They need to bring, at least for the pay-per-views, bring back the tunnels. I'm sorry, it's become their thing. Is the tunnels. We got Rickety, who is probably gonna piss Jimmy off with this comment. Judah's best entrance song ever created for a live audience.
Is that even worth a comment? Sorry, would you stop it? Would you start watching wrestling yesterday? Would you stop? Judas.
Why are you standing up? Don't stand up. Okay, sit down, please. Oh God, here we go. I don't know why her mother left her in here by herself, but here we go. Will Trism says, why does Chris Jericho need to get his heat back? I know why we got to drag it out, kids. Thanks, Chris.
Fair enough.
Indeed.
Jericho should have wrestled tomorrow since it's his anniversary. Or at the very least, his wife.
Y'all are awful human beings for that. Rickety saying the jobber appreciated society. Using Ricky's joke there. We got also Bell who says Revolution, which I am not watching live because they are till about 6-7 o'clock in the morning UK time, and I'm sleepy. TK, sorry, not sorry. Yes, with the announcement of the main event on the show. It's gonna be a long one, y'all. CM saying hi, Harlem. Yes, she's here in the background, y'all. She has made her reappearance on AEWramble. And we got CM who says, "Thank you for saying it, Jimmy." Yes.
What's more likely, that this pay-per-view goes an hour longer, or we cut some matches? For anybody with common sense, we cut some matches. But
yeah, we shouldn't do like freaking 10, 15, 20 matches on the show. This should probably be a 10 match show overall. Like to put
With
2
the
or 3
pre-show.
on the pre-show, and then an 7 to 8 match card on the main show this year.
We know we got to cut. We cut Jade's match. Sorry, love you, Jade. Great to look at. You're always the worst match on the card. Sorry.
Just put it on Rampage. Put it on Rampage. The main
Rampage
event right before. Yeah, the main event of Rampage. Yeah. I mean, we're only gonna get Red Velvet and Jade based on how long this whole dragging out is going on.
This has been so egregious, by the way. This feud between Jade and her baddies. There's no character development. It's just Jade and fucking these interchangeable motherfuckers. It's not right. I heard Kira Hogan can talk too. What the fuck's going on here?
They don't even give her a chance to. She can talk. They don't give her a chance to. It's not.
I don't know how any of them feel about anything outside of them walking away. Oh, fuck it. That's a shame.
You talking a lot over there. You wanna say hi? Say hi. Okay. All right. Next we got Hangman Adam Page. He's coming out for a update on his medical condition. He says he can't give us the good news that he is cleared just yet, but he has to pass one more brain scan before next week, and he can fight Jon Moxley in Los Angeles at the Forum. This cues Jon Moxley himself, who comes out to say that he is tired of the candlelight visual for Hangman Adam Page. He also seems sick of thinking. He also realizes that his mic isn't working, as the people at home, we could hear him, but apparently the people in the building could not, as he dropped an F-bomb. That's now 2 F-bombs in 3 weeks, might I say. Once Moxley gets the mic that actually is working, he says, "Let's go Seahawks. Okay, let's get this back on track." Page talks about being knocked out by everyone from enemies to his own best friends. But Moxley is the one who started to make jokes upon his return about everything, though, and he thinks that it's because Moxley is actually scared and insecure around him. That's why Page is here right now, and he has 2 in the chamber for Moxley. But Moxley said that doesn't work for him. He says that Page doesn't belong in the ring with him, and next week he'll make sure Page doesn't get back up. Outside of the mic malfunctions, I thought this was really intense, and it set things up for next week, which, man, oh man, like, I know we're going to talk about a bunch of the matches made for next week, but I know how you feel. You can usually feel the opposite of me, but the way they are hyping up next week, they are setting it up to be one of the best shows yet.
Yes, they are. They appear to be going all in. Depending on whether that bank shows up, I refuse to call her fucking money. It could be an all-timer. I will say this. I want to give Mike, you just tell me his name, I forgot already. Mike, whatever the fuck his name is. I want to give him some credit.
Manseri. Just say MM.
I'll give him some credit. I can't describe how much cooler it is to see Moxley from behind instead of walking towards the camera. It just looks like this animal they've let loose coming towards you. It's a great look. As for the promo, this was really good. I don't know. Thank you, Rickety. Apparently, Hangman's not actually injured. He's fine. Who would have thunk it? Yes, I believe so, sir. Yes. I think he's fine.
I don't think he would get in those brawls if he was still injured.
The promo was great. I don't know how I feel about Hangman's explanation. I think it might make him look even more like a bitch. That he's actually mad at the jokes. He is mad at getting a concussion.
I wish he would have brought it all together. I was really mad because you made me forget my son's name, but I was really gonna just come out here and just challenge you for another fight. But the reason that we had to get in these brawls over the last couple of weeks is because you had to say that little line of, "Oh, do you even remember me?" He should have brought both things together, and I think this would have been stronger on Hangman's part.
Agreed. I gotta be honest. I really like that line, by the way. It's an all-time great line. Do you even remember? It's so over the top. What was I going to say? Oh, by the way, Moxley's kind of intense rage, trying to keep it down so he can actually have the fight next week, is a great little touch. He's like, I want to fuck him up right now, but I can't because we won't have the match if I do. So you know what? Keep it together. That was great. This was fun.
Yeah, they both sold that well. Of like, you could tell they really wanted to beat the crap out of each other right then and there, but they had to control themselves based on what Hangman said, and all the brawling has basically prevented him from getting back into the ring thus far. We got Kaden in the chat who says this was great. I definitely enjoyed this one. Ace back in your claim up saying Kira is a great talker. We just wouldn't know it if we watch AEW. Okay,
fucking
there we go.
Shocking.
We got Annika who says, "Hey homies, quick question: if the arm hits the mat, doesn't that mean he loses? Or if you're talking about Ricky, it's because of the camera angle, but his arm never hit the mat. It came close, but he got it up in time, so that's why."
Okay, I do have a question. How come when Dragon stomps people in the face and then puts them in a submission, we don't raise their hands? We just fucking say they're out.
I think they should keep it consistent. I do agree with that for sure. They gotta keep it. They can't do it in one match and then not do it in the other. I was a little confused by that as well. We also got One Mike Nation who says, "I have a feeling this could be the next great long-term feud." I mean, if it's going to Revolution, it would be a long-term feud because this whole thing started in September.
Jesus, Hangman and Moxley. I mean, we need a twist if it's going to be a long-term feud. Somebody's got to. I mean,
I honestly, I just want them to go next week and never give us the match. We just randomly go backstage to them fighting everywhere. They're fighting in the crowd. Eventually, the match is supposed to start, and we get Moxley's entrance. He gets jumped from behind by Hangman, and they have to separate them. They throw the match out, and then we get lights out at Revolution.
Ooh. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you know what? I can see Hangman beating Moxley in a lights out match. Does it count against Moxley's record?
Yeah.
Which I assume is splendid, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, he's only been pinned by 4 people in his entire AEW run.
Jericho, Punk.
No, Jericho's never beaten. Punk,
Jesus.
Penny, MJF, and Matt Jackson.
I remember being one. I remember there was an odd man out. I'm not going to say any more than that.
Katie says, feels like they're doing one big Dynamite a month with every other Dynamite having at least one major match to keep fans enticed while building stories. But next week, they're building it up like it's a pay-per-view because the Warner Brothers executives are going to be there. This might be their last chance to be in the LA Forum before the negotiations start. So I think that's why we're getting the pay-per-view.
What negotiations? You're out. Fucking WB selling everything. These bums.
Apparently they're high on AEW though. We're getting, I guess, news here. MCAS saying SP3, did you see that Sasha Banks has been removed from the WWE page? Well,
wasn't that a while ago?
No, they take, Adam Cole was on WWE's page and a month into his AEW run. Like, they don't update that shit. Like, that's why when Raj Giri last year was the first one who said Sasha has negotiated her release from the company, and then everybody came back at him like, she's still on the website. I was like, these idiots don't realize that they don't update that website. Like, what are we doing here?
To be fair, who goes on the WWE website? People even use websites anymore, sadly.
That's also true. I don't even go on WWE's website to get pictures for these reviews. Like, Simeon says, unlike Ospreay, Hangman is a lovable bitch. Well, damn. I want you to bring that down a bit. Jeez.
Fair enough. I won't argue with you.
Oh, goddamn. We got Kaden who says, I wouldn't mind having a DQ finish next week to set up a lights out. Yeah, we're all in. We're all in for that kind of would be the way. But if they are going to do a match, Hangman needs to win.
The lights out match? Or
No, if they're doing a match next week, I think Hangman needs to win. I'm not saying that I would be too mad if Moxley did win, because it establishes that Moxley is the hurdle that Hangman now has to overcome. I wouldn't mind that. I just think it might be more interesting if it's 1-1 going into Revolution.
Oh, agreed. But I wouldn't be shocked if we get some type of Hangman concussion angle during the match.
I can definitely see that as well. Let's move on to the next segment that we had on the show here. We had the AEW World Tag Team Championships up for grabs. No, first, before the AEW World Tag Team titles, we had Samoa Joe with a quick interview before tonight's main event, where he keeps calling Darby Allin the little dead boy. He was like, I took care of Warlow last week, and then the little dead boy wanted to come attack me from behind. Well, little dead boy, now that your daddy gave you a pep talk, it's not gonna help you against me in your hometown. I love Samoa Joe.
Same. So ready for this Joe TV run. Can't wait for this to go another 3 months.
What would you say that? AEW World Tag Team titles up for grabs. You had the Acclaimed versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Of course, we got to talk about the Acclaimed's rap beforehand, where they talk about Jarrett is going to take a L and blame it on Dixie Carter. They also have a mention to Andrew Tate in their rap and say that TNA stands for Total Nonstop Acclaim. This was okay. I won't say it was one of the top echelon, but it's the tier just below.
Yeah, that was one of his better ones. Can we acknowledge he's not a very good rapper? Like, his flow is atrocious.
Oh no, the flow here was horrible.
Yeah. Shut up. Stink.
Yeah. That flow was not very good in this one. Well, the match I thought was fun. I really hate to say this because I know how you feel about him. I like Jeff Jarrett in AEW. I'm sorry, he's just so carny. It works. But what we got in the finish to this match was some overbooking here as
shocking.
As they ejected Billy Gunn earlier in the match from the match. Then Satnam Singh tried to get involved. He got ejected from the matchup. Him flipping off the referees had me laughing. I don't know why, but it just made me laugh. During the whole melee and distraction, Jarrett hits the stroke on Anthony Bowens. Jay Lethal gets the cover. Anthony Bowens gets his foot on the ropes, but Sanjay Dutt behind the referee back pushes the foot off the ropes, and they get the 1, 2, 3. Man, oh man, I'm sorry. This is the reason why I had to change my stance here, because the crowd's boos was just fabulous. I was like, yes, this is like the worst thing they could have possibly thought of. We get Aubrey Edwards, who is a hometown native of Seattle, Washington. She gets the nice pop by reversing the decision. We get only a couple of minutes where Lethal rolls up Bowens, and then Bowens is able to reverse it thanks to Max Caster, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. I thought this was fun for what it was. That was a heck of a false finish, and the fear of Jarrett and Lethal being champions was so strong that this crowd just it gave us nuclear heat, and then a huge pop when the decision got reversed. And later in the night, it was announced that this Friday on the live edition of Battle of the Belt, it will be the Acclaim versus Team TNA Triple J in a no holds barred match live in Portland, Oregon. That's probably going to be the main event of Battle of the Belts. Jarrett did cut a promo later in the night as well. What did you think about all of this, the tag team titles?
I was thinking, holy shit. Is this the first time they mentioned Battle of the Belts? What the fuck? First of all, we're still doing that? And secondly, what?
Dude, they gotta get so much better at doing this shit. Like,
dude,
when they lit it before this match and this getting announced for Friday, when they told us the only match announced was Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian, I was like, throw this whole idea out in the garbage. Like, seriously, if that's the best you can do, then no, I don't. You don't even do these specials anymore.
He noticed already. He threw the whole idea away after the first one. He's like, I already got the check. I'm not gonna try anymore. Fuck it. I actually enjoyed this match. I want to enjoy it more because I did like the kind of pseudo real heat we had between Jeff Jarrett and Max Caster. And then it just went to fucking silly wrestling nonsense, which I also enjoy. That overbooking at the end is so... I know I'm supposed to just go, it's wrestling. Who cares? But the brother makes a smart move. I don't know the referee's name. The brother's smart. I can't get this big cocksucker out of here. Step. Jesus. That is the blackest non-African name. He couldn't be blacker if he was Malcolm Luther King Jr. That shit is outrageous. What? Malcolm Luther King Jr. X. What?
Malcolm Luther King Jr. Sharpton, last name Sharpton.
Stephon Smith. God damn. Never getting called back. Oh, poor bastard.
Why are you this way?
What was I doing? Oh, right. The brother looks smart. He's like, I can't get this big cuckus out of here myself. I'm calling for help. The referees come out, 15 of them apparently, to get him out of here, and don't actually get him out of here. They just kind of, they all kind of stand and say, move this way. But then the brother leaves the ring, which I think was the whole point of calling him down. If you're going to do it yourself, you dummy, stay in the ring. So Blazer come out, and then a count, and then the leg, which I enjoyed. This was a TNA match. This was a Jeff Jarrett title match, and I was kind of here for it.
This was Memphis booking 101. This is how Memphis used to book a lot of their stuff, and I'm okay with it when it's Jeff Jarrett. But it's Jeff Jarrett, I'm okay with it. It was
fun.
It's so weird how I was just so entertained, and I do agree that the rap next week and last week and Karen Jarrett's response to it just made this more interesting.
That is wild, by the way. Her response is so over the top. You would think Kurt Angle wrote the rap,
dude. Seriously, I was so stunned by that. Like, I was like, I did not need to know that Kurt Angle cheated with Kelly Kelly and Dawn Marie, but okay.
Good on Kurt.
And then Jerry came at Kurt too, and then he came at Dixie Carter and Vince Russo. I was like, what is going on here?
Jesus, he did? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he said that he didn't get sent home for having an affair with Karen Angle. He said he got sent home because it was a power play by Dixie Carter and Vince Russo.
Jesus. Gee, I thought Russo and Jarrett were cool. What the fuck?
I thought so too. I thought they always been boys.
He always pushed Jeff Jarrett more than he should have been pushed, quite frankly. How dare you, sir? This motherfucker went to bat for you. You gonna throw him under the bus? This nigga want to do Jeff Jarrett versus Stone Cold. Are you out of your fucking mind? Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, why does the comment have me dying on the inside? This is you, my boy Blue says. I call him Daniel Cormier referee.
That's hilarious.
That's another very black man. We got Ace who says no holds barred are in Double J's playbook. Absolutely, he loves this. He's living for this. Annika says, didn't they have a whole storyline about this on TNA? Yeah, they did a whole angle with Jarrett feuding with Angle years after the whole affair. So I was like, what are we even doing here?
That's so over the top. I get it. She doesn't like being. I guess it does make her and Jeff look bad.
I don't think it makes Jeff look bad because he stole the wife. It makes the wife look bad because she used the job, the ex-husband's job, to find her new husband.
Fair enough. I can't blame her for defending herself.
And I understand Jarrett's response. If my lady is mad at something, please believe I'm going on a public platform being, yo, I'm mad at that too. Like, you offended my woman, I gotta back up my woman. Absolutely.
Yes, you've got to do that. But in public, yes, back her up. In private, you should let her know she's out of her fucking mind. Keep that shit to yourself, you fucking dummy. It's not with you.
I'm pretty sure they had a conversation. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff was just like, why do you have to do all that? Why do you have to do all that? You told me he was gonna say the line. Like, what are we doing here?
It's wrestling, stupid. What's the matter with you?
What are we doing here? Come on, you've been in the business, hun. Oh, Jeff.
And you've be nice. Yeah.
No, say it. Go ahead.
No, you said she's been in the business. I was going to say the business has also been in.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
That's deserved.
You got Karen Jarrett. Like,
they go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous. Send.
Send is the best part of it. Send.
Next, we go back to earlier today. We got a sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone interviewing the AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter, along with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Britt and Jamie are not worried about whoever Saraya has as her partner because they are AEW originals. But how does Saraya not know who her partner is yet? AEW has the best talent, the best wrestlers. She shouldn't even be looking outside. She should be picking from the roster here. She says that it doesn't matter though because she's the champion and I'm the boss. She's the killer and I'm the pillar. And that is actually how they're being referred to as their tag team name now. It's the Killer and the Pillar, which I absolutely fucking love. I love it. I'm sorry.
Same. The Killer and the Pillar is great. Though I have to say, what are we doing? Do we not like Saraya? Did Saraya turn down Tony Khan or something? Why does she get buried? And like not even like typical buried, like how fucking what's buried Thunder Rosa. This is buried in like a grander sense. Like this woman is entitled and spoiled and blasé and fucking blah. And we're AEW originals and she's a WWE bum coming in here. Blah, blah, blah. They're the baby faces. Baker and fucking Hayter are the baby faces in this scenario. I don't understand why they're treating it like they're not. This is so weird. Whatever. I don't mind.
I really don't know what to tell you, but I do agree. It does. Whether they realize it or not, the people that are pro AEW in this company are always going to be considered the baby faces. Like you can't, like the way how Saraya has come off, like she's better than everybody, doesn't integrate her too well into the AEW fan base the way that they think they were doing. I guess I don't know.
I've been in Madison Square Garden. Well, congratulations, stupid.
Well, congratulations, stupid. Go back there. That's basically what the AEW fans have been saying to her since she got here, pretty much. It's sad.
It's so weird. It's such a weird. I don't know why they think. I keep saying they. Why Dummy thinks I need Dummy to change his pronouns to be they, so to make it easier for me. I don't know why Dummy.
Wait, come on now. He could change.
I want him to.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I just said I want him to make it easier for me. That's all. That's all.
Okay. Make things easier for you. Okay.
Yes, change your identity, please, to make it easier for me.
Because that's not wrong. That's not wrong, y'all. That was an unjustified disclaimer.
Well, I'm not sure why we're treating her like she's Banks or Becky or Charlotte. Listen, she helps the Women's Revolution come along. I'm just saying she's not that now. That's all.
Yes,
that's all.
You can say that.
By the way, do we want to talk about Ronda Rousey? I know she's been awfully quiet. She was the hero fucking a few years ago, and now I don't hear about her from you all. You had shirts and all that stuff. What happened?
They hate her. They hate her now. Apparently.
What about you?
I'm fine with her. I'm always defending her. If you don't watch WWE, you don't watch her content on WWE, so you can't say that I don't. I
think
don't.
she's good?
I am always.
You think she's still good?
I would say that she doesn't care anymore, and she's quite levels down from where she was at 2018. I am a Ronda Rousey fan, but I'm also an honest analyst, so you can always expect the truth from me.
Fair enough.
We got in the comments here, Simeon saying, remember China and Angle versus Karen and Jeff? Yo, that feels like centuries ago. Yes, I do remember.
That feels like a fucking video game ass match. What?
Yes, they
Seriously?
brought in China. They brought in China for a one-off. Yeah.
Rest in peace, China.
MCAS says DMD continues to talk for Jamie. That's going to get old real quick. I want them to make it more. I want more of what we saw in the later video, later sit down interview where someone didn't say a word but said a lot with their facial expressions. I want more of that from Jamie when Britt talks for her.
Yes, that. Like the way it was the first time, where Jamie gave that little look like, all right, go ahead. I need more of that, please.
Yeah. We got Annika who says it's not Mercedes. New Japan ain't letting her first match be in AEW. I don't think New Japan has a say in that because she only did a pair appearance. She didn't do like a long-term deal with them. So I think Mercedes can show up in freaking GCW tomorrow and have her first match if she like. Just saying. We also got here in the live chat. We got MCAS who says Mob Boss Shida and the Joshi faction are coming. We'll talk about that in a bit. We got Ace who said he likes the Pillar and the Killer, and the Killer name. We got CM who says I ain't touching that one about your last disclaimer, I guess.
No backup at all. Fair enough. All right.
We got also MCAS with a great question. Do you think TK would agree to an interview with THH if Jimmy was part of it? You think Rhapsody was great? That would be appointment podcast for me. I mean, yes, it would be.
No, he wouldn't. All you had to do was watch one fucking ramble and he'd be over it. He said send on the fucking podcast. I didn't watch it because who could watch him for fucking more than 30 minutes? I don't even understand how. But he said something. I saw a quote and it bothered me. I wish I could remember what the fuck it was. He's so annoying. He's so fucking bothersome. There's everything he does.
Why do you hate him so much? I don't understand. I didn't like Vince with a lot of things he did, but I never had this level of hatred.
But Vince is entertaining, like in and of himself, even when he's not trying to be. This whole recent scandal he had is hilarious. Only Vince can make this that big of a deal by using company funds. Sir, it's in your pocket. Just pay her. What's the matter with you?
We got this backstage segment here with Jungle Boy challenging, saying that he's ready for the firm and he has Hook with him. So we have the challenge for next week in Jungle Boy's hometown of Los Angeles, and it was made official later on in the show. It will be the firm's Big Bill and Lee Moriarty with Stokely Hathaway versus Jungle Hook. They took the name. They embraced the culture. This is one up for the Hooker Nation. Just saying. But the one thing I did like about that is that we've been asking for that background of the backstage promos to change, and at least we got that.
Finally, thank God. Somebody in that company, dummy, needs to take a psychology class because every time I see something, I go, that looks odd to me. And I don't know why. I think psychology would fucking help because fucking seeing Hook, he looks like a school shooter, first of all, standing next to Jungle Boy. And then Jungle Boy looks very unimpressive. We've got to make people look more impressive than they are, not less. That shit looks ridiculous.
That's a fair assessment, I would say. Up next, we had another hometown boy here from Washington. We had the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. He's out for a one-on-one matchup with Tony Nese. This one did not go quick, and it didn't need to. After the distraction, Nese gets a quick bit of offense, but Danielson comes back firing off the kicks in the corner. He then Nese hits a not so great buckle bomb, but he misses the running Nese this time. He gets the Psycho knee. He gets the stomps to the head, and then the Regal stretch for the referee stompage. Aubrey decided I did that whole lifting up the arm for Ricky. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for Tony Nese. If he's knocked out 3 minutes into the matchup, this didn't need to go any longer than it did. I think this was the right choice here because it led into probably my favorite segment of the night. Bryan Danielson gets on the mic after the win. He says he's glad to be home and he calls out Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Out comes the owner of the Triple B, the AEW World Champion MJF, to say he isn't coming out here to wrestle Danielson right now. MJF doesn't care about wrestling like this, but doesn't think much of Danielson anyway. He says if Lance Storm and Dean Malenko could procreate, it would still be way more interesting and have way more charisma than Bryan Danielson. MJF mocks Danielson's mother, saying that Danielson thinks that because he looks like a goat, that he is the goat, but that's not true. But he does very much look like a goat, and he actually heard that that Danielson's mother couldn't find a male suitor, so she decided to get with a goat. Danielson responds and comes back with that he heard backstage, and all the guys in the locker room talk about MJF's mother has had way more male suitors that can actually fill this entire building. I love when someone gets a line on MJF and he acts so offended. He says that's not funny. That was great. That made the line. That made Brian's line even better. MJF says marks like these fans are the only ones that have anointed Bryan Danielson the best in the world, them and the journalists who haven't left their mom's basement. But he says people in the business, he says the legends of the business have said that he is the best in the world. People like Disco Inferno, people like Eric Bischoff, and people like the smartest man of them all and my number one fan, Jim Cornette. He said they have all put me over. He said that's why I'm the best in the world. Danielson says he's done with the talking. He's ready to fight. MJF backs away, saying that Danielson has to become the number one contender before he has a chance to fight him. The fans tell him to shut the fuck up, and MJF says no. MJF says he has talked to that nerd Tony Khan backstage, who said that if Danielson wins a match every week on Dynamite until February 8th, that he would be the number one contender. And he said, he says that if he was the number one contender, he would give him a shot on March 5th at AEW Revolution. Bryan Danielson kind of plays a little mind games here and says no. He says he'll just wrestle he'll just wrestle when he wants, become number one contender for the title, and win when he feels like it. That sends MJF over the fucking edge. MJF says that he promises to have his lawyer Mark Sterling have a filibuster, and he'll sit at home until his contract expires at the end of 2023. Danielson responds and says that Mark Sterling is a horrible lawyer. He says, all right, I will agree to your terms, but he wants to pick the stipulation for their match, and he decides he wants a 1 hour Iron Man match. I love Shabani on commentary saying, do it, dumbass, do it. MJF says the match is on, but he also says that Danielson still has to win until February 8th. Danielson says MJF doesn't have what it takes and promises to prove that. That's why he wants the Iron Man match. He says that he doesn't have good enough fit work. He doesn't have good enough cardio. He is going to expose MJF in an Iron Man match. And he says that MJF doesn't have what it takes, and he promises to run the gauntlet and win the title. This went on a good amount of time. I think it went like 10 minutes strong, but man, oh man, this was, like I said, this was my favorite segment. I thought Bryan Danielson was excellent as a babyface who wasn't dealing with MJF's usual games and came back happy. And then MJF just played his role of this smug, sarcastic guy who thinks he could say anything, but anytime he gets any shit back, he acts like he's been wronged. It's so great. It's so awesome. And then the cherry on top of this all, later in the night, they announced that the first match in the Bryan Danielson MJF gauntlet is Konosuke fucking Takeshita. Oh my lord, Jimmy. This is what I was like. This LA show is about to be the greatest episode of Dynamite. What did you think?
It could very well be.
What did you think about the squash into the promo and then the announcement of Bryan versus Takeshita next week?
Have I mentioned that Tony's has the worst fucking nickname ever? I've mentioned this, right?
Yes, you said this plenty of times.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
The premier athlete, y'all.
The premier athlete. Here comes Triple H, the terrible villain. Shut up. What? Stinks. Ugh. Match is fine. It's what it should be. Dragging over fast. Not mad at it at all. Does feel like a waste of Tony Nese, though. Not sure why we signed him, outside of the fact that he was available. The promo, I thought, was really good. I'm sure we're giving Dragon a pass that we don't give Chris Jericho for his fucking sexist nonsense. We're giving Dragon a pass, right? Okay, just making sure.
He talked about his mom first. He said that Brian's mom had sex with a coat. He said it.
Okay.
That's just a response. That's just a clap back. That's just a clap
Agreed.
back. I'm just saying.
Agreed. I've always said that women are just tools for our amusement.
Hey, tools for our amusement or bestiality cases. I'm just saying.
This is fun. It was worthy. This was fun. I enjoyed every bit of it. I love Brian saying no. It's probably my favorite thing. Outside the Omega match, it's probably my favorite thing fucking Brian's done in AEW. It's just such a unexpected little tool. I've never heard anybody use against MJF before. No, I don't want to do that. That sounds dumb. This was great. All of this was great, and I'm here for the Iron Man match, particularly if we cut 3 matches from this fucking card. It's fucking
I'm here for it because it's the perfect stipulation for this, because Brian can do everything he said he does, of like proving he's the better wrestler, proving he has better cardio and footwork, and then in the end MJF can cheat like at the 59th minute and get the win and steal it, and it basically will put over Brian in defeat. MJF gets to say, I survived an Iron Man match against the so-called best wrestler in the world and walked out with the title. You could have it if you are unsure about timing wise. You could main event the show with something else, and that could be the top of the show, and then you could do a draw. You can do this a couple of different ways they can go about this, but I think this is the perfect stipulation and the perfect match for these two.
Agree. Hey, first of all of you, I was saying that's what he was saying. That's not what I was saying. I love women, at least more than I like men. Men are fucking awful people. Women are just emotionally awful. Yes, bad take. I love that. Really think I'm up here.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Guys, I got to do a lot of things here. I'm trying to do the review, put up pictures. Sometimes I'm going to miss on these disclaimers, but I appreciate y'all calling me out for those are late disclaimer. I apologize.
This is insane. This is why people don't help you all, because I stick up.
I also was getting called out for you calling Hook a school shooter. I was getting called out for a couple of things, but I agree. The woman line, yeah, that deserves a disclaimer.
I stick up for all of you by saying what Dragon said was sexist, and then you all say give him a disclaimer. That's where we're at right now. I say Dragon's being sexist. I get the disclaimer. Where do they do that at? All right, you know what? I'm not dealing with you all right now. I do want to throw a fucking.
He's like, I'm turning off the comments.
This is shocking. You see this? And then the next time up, they'll be, see, black men don't stick up for black women. Well, I just did. And you all told me to fuck off.
Wait, you did.
I stuck up for you all.
You all told me to fuck off. Black men don't stick up for black women. You definitely ain't sticking up for a black woman. MJF's mom is Jewish.
There's things about I'm not going to I'm going to be nice. There's a Kyrie comment here somewhere.
Replace Jimmy's name with Kyrie.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Yes, because women are here for our amusement is the sarcastic part. That's me accusing him of doing this. What's wrong with you people? What is it? You have a stroke on the first? What is going on?
I love Ashford says, I don't know why, but Jimmy reminds me of Jim Cornette, but a funnier version.
Well, that's not fucking hard. You know what? I'm not doing this. All right, you know what? Focus. We were talking about the Iron Man match.
Yes.
I will. Thank you, my boy below. What did I say? Wait, what? All right, this is going off the rails fast. I'm turning these comments off. I can't even turn them off because it's popping up here. Thank you, my. Somebody gets it. What was I going to say? Right, my comment now seems kind of pointless. I was going to say Iron Man matches should always be on pay-per-view, because if you look at the history of Iron Man matches, by the way, they actually don't draw very well because people know they can just tune in the last 5 minutes to get the fucking finish.
It's arguable. I would say the greatest Iron Man match in WWE is Brock versus Angle.
Yeah, but he did a terrible rating. It was a great match.
That is true. That is true. That is true. I'm not gonna deny that, because that's a fact that it did not do the greatest rating, but it was my favorite of all the Iron Man matches.
Oh, so much common sense. It's an Iron Man match. Great. I'll take this DQ to just beat the dog shit out of this guy with a chair.
Brilliant. The psychology of Brock was incredible in that matchup.
Oh, so good. I love that match so much.
We got You My Boy Blue says the interview would start with Jimmy like, so Tony, expert deleted, whole damn thing would be censored.
He definitely wouldn't allow that to be released. He would just fucking send us a cease and desist order.
I think Dragon James was waiting for the clap crowds to end. Japan just had a Wrestle Kingdom with the first cheering crowds for New Japan in 3 years. So I think now we have more of a chance for Danielson to go over to Japan now. We also got Skinny Kravis, the good old brother Ness, saying MJF went full Ric Flair in this promo, and I love it. I love it.
It was awesome.
You had some people online complaining about the MJF trials once again, but I'm sorry, it has proven to be an A when it comes to build-ups. The Cody before Revolution 2020 was great.
Great.
Punk thing that gave us the FTR versus Punk and John Moxley, that was tremendous. The Warlow trials, that was fun.
Great.
And the best thing about the Double or Nothing build, he's delivered every single time. He's done these obstacles in front of these baby faces. So I don't understand why people are complaining.
Probably because they've seen it before, but I've seen Goodfellas before. I'll watch it again. It's a great fucking movie.
I'm sorry. Yes, if something's good, you can watch it again. Like, what are we doing here? I just started watching Sopranos again. One of the greatest series.
It's so weirdly paced too. I love it.
It is very weirdly paced.
Like there's no cliffhangers, there's no anything. Like,
watching the first few episodes, I was like, all right, I remember this gonna take a while for me to get back into it. FCAS saying the ironic thing about MJF is that his mom actually has no love for him. So to see MJF all upset is so fake, but I loved it. Yes.
He's offended because he's offended. He offended his mom. Hey, nobody makes jokes except me.
Also true, Simeon. Your mom a hoe will never not be funny. Like since the beginning of time. And yeah, for a 10-minute promo, this breezed by.
It was great.
It was great. All the beats worked and everything. It was just tremendous. I loved it. We get what do you think about Takeshita and Bryan next week?
You know, I've said this before. Where's fucking Juice Robinson? That's not what I said before, but
I think they only got Juice for ROH.
Gotcha. I said before I would save the money on Juice Robinson and Bandito and everybody else if I needed it to sign Takeshita, because he is fantastic. First time I saw him, that's a star. It's a goddamn star right there. He probably signed for fucking. I don't even want to think about what the fuck he signed for. Not a lot, poor bastard. But don't worry, you get him on the re-up like MJF did. I'll get you on the re-up. I'll see you, motherfucker.
Get you on the re-up, y'all. Get you on the re-up. See, I'm saying thank you, SP3. Delayed but not denied. See, I listen. I
got you. I'm with you.
I listen to the people.
I'm with you.
A man of the people.
I can't wait. Absolutely. I'm with you. See, this is why people turn to Andrew Tate and people like this.
What are we doing here?
Because we try to become a good guy. They stick up for them. They turn on you.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
This is why.
Jimmy, you know what you need to say next.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Fucking cocaine face.
It pops me every time. It pops me every time I have a reason to play that. Every time. Let's talk about they did a little quick vignette to hype up Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian for Battle of the Belts. Like I said before, this is what I was like, all right, maybe maybe we need to scrap this idea. I'm just saying, y'all. Just saying. Next, we had a one-on-one matchup of Swerve Strickland with the Mogul Affiliates going one-on-one with his former friend and former rival AR Fox. I was ready for this one, and this was just a blast to watch. You had Swerve and AR basically responding to different flips with more flips. This spot here was just, I would love this spot. Him doing a backflip off the apron. Swerve does a front flip off the apron to stand face to face with him. I was like, oh, this is great. And then AR Fox on offense it just gets the crowd into the matchup even more. And then out of nowhere, like this match went 9 minutes, 12 seconds. This was just all action. This is the type of matches I used to love from AEW, and they gave it to me here. That vicious DVD off the middle rope onto the apron had my back hurting. And then Swerve standing on the top rope with this sinister smile before he hits the Swerve stomp right to the fucking throat. Oh my God. Everything about Swerve was just perfection here. I love Swerve. I'm now okay with Mogul Affiliates only because they haven't gave the tattoo man a name. They literally commentary was like, we still don't know his name. I was like, okay, they got me. I'm here for it. If they had told me his name the week after, I think I would still be down on this stable. But the fact they just make him a no-name muscle, that's what I want from this group.
Yes, that's why it works. I forgot who said it. They're not even wrestlers. They're goons. I'm like, absolutely. That is awesome. I love, by the way, they kept insulting this cocksucker. I forgot what they called him. They call him a freak? Tattooed something.
Yeah, tattooed freak.
Which is
tattoo Neanderthal. I think at one point someone called him that.
Like, this shit is wild. Fucking Dragon's dropping your mama jokes, and now we're calling this guy a tattooed weirdo. Why? What is this? Oh, well. I guess Vince did have to find a job at some point. He's running AEW now. What? That was fucking outrageous. The match was fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually. I don't mind the flippy stuff, but just in short bursts. 9 minutes is great for it. The only thing I might change is listen, everything I said was within the bounds of reason. It's just a reaction to it that made me fight back.
He was fighting out the corner.
I don't want to shit on Swerve because I loved everything he did in this match, including, I know people think he should have beat, who did he fight on Rampage recently?
Who? AR?
Yeah. No.
Wheeler Yuta. He beat Wheeler
Yuta. I know people think he should have beat Yuta clean, and they probably think he should have beat AR Fox clean. There's something about a heel cheating when he doesn't need to that I enjoy more than I should. I just like it a lot. I'm just such a fan. I'm here for it. Good. You should never win a match clean. Just fucking always cheat. Fuck it. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I just love this Swerve character because he's basically a heel because the fans turned on him. And it wasn't like his character was getting stale and they turned on him. It's just they chose another person over him, and he's taken it personal ever since.
Absolutely, they chose the fake rap over him.
CM says I loved Killshot versus Dante Fox. It was basically that. It was like a mix of Killshot versus Dante Fox from Lucha Underground meets Ricochet versus Will Ospreay, but a little bit more calmer and not as outrageous.
Oh, fair enough.
We also got Bell who says, why does Swerve have the same sinister smile as one of the Uso? I'm sorry, it works for them. It just works for them. I love it. Steven Chambers says, who's the guy with the tattoo face with Swerve and Parker? His name is Graydon.
Tattoo Freak.
Graydon, but the fact that they are not giving him a name, I'm here for it.
It works. Why would you know the security guard's name?
There's no reason.
It's just a great idea. I love it.
Next, we had one of the segments that has been most talked about from last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. We had a sit-down interview with Renee Paquette interviewing Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida. Saraya first says that she won't announce her partner for next week. She talks about how great AEW's women's division has been, talking about the great match that Tony Storm had with Jamie Hayter, and then her Shida and Jamie at the Holiday Bash. But she says that she has decided, and she feels like
to do the moonwalk.
She is sitting next to the best wrestler in the world, and she turns to Tony Storm and says she has picked her as our partner. And I'm sorry, it was Renee first with the girl, what? Why? What? And then the Shida was going through so many emotions, and the fact that they did not give her an opportunity to speak made this resonate even more for me. I was just like, yo, Shida is the longest reigning AEW Women's World Champion of all time, and she just had the girl that was the interim champion get picked over her. Like, you could tell that thought was going through her head the entire time. I thought Shida was the MVP of this entire segment.
This was great. I'm not gonna comment on Saraya because I probably should, because apparently we can fucking slut shame, so I should be able to fucking face shame, right? I can face shame. I can do what I want, right? That's what you all do.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Why you so crazy?
How's any of this on me? I'm so confused.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
You know what? Fuck it. Segment. They've got to be doing double turn, right? We've got to be turning fucking Baker and Hayter, and we're fucking and Saraya and Storm's heels, right? We've got to be. There's no way anybody thinks this is big.
I think that Shida is probably going to be responsible for taking Tony Storm out of this tag team matchup. That's how that came.
Bringing in Banks.
I don't know. I don't know. Huh? I don't know if Banks is brought in for this, but I feel like this announcement felt more like a red herring than an actual announcement.
Fair enough. I will say this. This is shocking to me. First of all, forget the Shida's right next to you. You say Tony Storm's better than her. Then you start discussing strategy with right there.
It was like Saraya completely forgot that Shida was sitting there. Like,
that shit is wild. I need Shida to join fucking Baker and Hayter as the fuck these WWE bitches club. What the fuck is all this?
That needs to be it. The WWE Bitches Club versus the AEW Originals. That's what we need.
I gotta be honest. I originally thought this was an evil plan by Tony Khan, that we were gonna leave it. We were going to leave that fucking mystery spot blank until the day of the show, and then out comes Thunder Rosa to massive disappointment because we hate Thunder Rosa's guts for some reason. I thought that was going to be the move, but apparently not. Congratulations. I don't know what the move is. I kind of hope it's Banks, but I have my doubts. It's such a bad spot for Banks. I don't like it at all.
I'm okay with it.
Next to Saraya, hard pass.
Only because this is in front of the Warner Brothers is and if you get the big signing, this is great. But yeah, I mean, probably you could do the tag team match. Oh, also another part of this whole story that has kind of been forgotten and that could be used to not do a match with Mercedes and have her there is the ticket. How this whole thing started was Britt giving Saraya the ticket to the LA Forum. And she could be like, well, I have a special guest here that I gave the ticket to.
That could be cute. Callback. I don't hate that. Did you see the thing she signed for 6 matches? You heard that rumor?
With New Japan?
No, for AEW. I heard that rumor.
There was the report from Steven Mulhausen last night before AEW Dynamite, where he said that it was confirmed that to him that Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, was going to be the partner of Saraya in LA. He says this was information that he had learned a couple of weeks back, but couldn't release it until after Mercedes was officially a free agent on January 1st.
Yeah, I heard 3 pay-per-views and 6 matches. I don't know where you find 6 matches from. At least that are up to Banks' level. Baker, Hayter, Jade, Thunder Rosa, Sheeta in the shitty tag match.
She's gonna want to probably verse Saraya to make up for injuring her. Make up for injuring
her again.
Oh, no, hopefully we can't. She doesn't injure her. God damn it, Jimmy! What are we doing here?
I'm Team Banks. Why are we putting her in there with Saraya? Ugh.
So you tell me Banks can't have a match with her without injuring her?
I'm telling her Banks can't have a match with her without lowering herself to fucking Saraya's level. No offense, Saraya. I'm sure you're a nice person.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
There's nothing about Paige that belongs in the ring with Sasha Banks. I'm sorry. No disrespect, Paige. I'm sorry.
No disrespect, but I'm just
no disrespect, but you're not worthy of fucking Goat Banks. Let's be honest. I'm doing Baker because of the star power. I'm doing Jade for the same reason. I'm doing Hayter because that, and she's awesome. And I'm doing Thunder Rosa because she's a really good wrestler. I'll let you do the other 2 matches. We'll figure out the rest. We'll figure out the other 2. We'll do Hayter 3 times.
I need heel Cheetah in my life after this segment. I'm here. I'm
about heel Cheetah. Yes,
I'm now back on Team Cheetah. I'm back on the Team Cheetah, y'all. We here. Holy Cheetah. We here for this. No, we are not racist here, and we are not WWE. Cheetah does not mean ninjas. No.
She's Japanese, right?
Yes, he is.
We'll bring out the Yakuza. Whole bunch of niggas in suits. Suits and random weapons.
One Mike Nation says Sheeta attacks Tony before the match, and Tony gets replaced by Sasha. Is his way he would book it.
Hate that idea.
We also got
you had Sasha available, but you chose Tony. Makes her even more of an idiot somehow.
We also got people who thinks they're gonna do Sheeta coming out and making it a 3-way, and her partner is Monet. What? You're not here for that either.
A random 3-way tag match. I love that. All I'm saying is, my biggest thing is we have to maintain the internal logic of the story, and in no planet does Sasha Banks randomly show up and then randomly get put into a match. On what planet does any decent owner, kayfabe, allow that to happen?
Fair enough. We also got One Mike Nation who says heel Mercedes Monet versus Willow. I'll be here for that.
Money, sir. It's Monet.
Monet.
Oh. I'm not mad at that. That's got to be her last match, though. Put over Willow.
Yeah, put over Willow on the way out. We got next segment was the Guns, Austin and Colton, coming out for a special visual of a funeral for FTRIP, as they talked about hearing about how FTR won a bunch of titles, save for the AEW World Tag Team titles. They then lost them all because the Guns are just better. He says after the Guns fake out the FTR entrance, that did get a reaction from the fans. They promise FTR will never wrestle here again, but not much of this segment got a reaction here. But I thought the Guns performed very well here.
Shockingly, I think that bum was a better part of this. What's the one with the races on his arm? Austin. I thought Austin was a better part of this. He came across kind of natural in his douchebaggery. I was here for it. The segment, they don't treat FTR like a big deal. So you treating them like a big deal felt weird to me. Not well.
That is true.
Did they lose the belts?
They lost the IWGP tag team titles at Wrestle Kingdom. Good match, too. Really good match.
I would imagine.
And we got a video package with, of course, Round Ball Rock to hype up next week's Match 7, Escalera de la Muerte. I wish that they would have mentioned about Kenny winning the IWGP United States Championship. And, of course, his swollen fucking eye, because that's the one part of the Omega Ospreay match we didn't talk about, was the Chicky Nando's kicks where you saw his foot ramming into Kenny's face. And that last one where Kenny just immediately grabbed his face and then his eye started swelling shut.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened immediately. I went, oh, he sold that one really well. Oh, he got kicked in the fucking face. Oh, you poor bastard. This is fun. I was gonna say, I don't know why they're not acknowledging it outside of Maybe Tony kind of slowly transforming into Vince. I kind of be here for it. At least be entertaining.
He said, that's all we need. That's all we need. And yes, EBB, I know I just saw that you were late to the show, but we did talk about Wrestle Kingdom. We talked about Mercedes Moné and Jimmy's thoughts on Ospreay versus Omega. So you can rewind back at the end of the show. And he's going to watch it back to find the extra quarter that he lost.
Yeah, I got to find it. I feel so odd. The only person that has only 5 stars, I think.
You're the odd one out. Next, we had our, arbitrary women's segment at 9:25.
Oh shit! There we go.
Here, as it was Sky Blue and Kara Hogan versus the baddies of Jade Cargill and Red Velvet. Jade Cargill and Red Velvet all teasing dissension throughout this. I thought Kara Hogan did look good on offense against Jade as well as against Red Velvet. Although I wish there would have been a little hesitation between Red and Kara attacking each other or doing assaults, because that feels like that was the kind of the initial point of where Red started her dissension with Jade. I think it would have put the whole thing together here. But in the end, the two women are getting upset at each other as Jade throughout the matchup keeps patting Red Velvet or smacking her in the back of the head to tag in. Eventually, she tries to do it again, and Red gets off of the apron. Kara Hogan gets a near fall off a roll up, but then she walks right into the pump kick, and Jade gets the win. I know there's a lot of discourse of Jade online, but right here, I felt like she had improved. She seemed so confident in the ring. Everything she hit, I felt was well here. This was one of her better performances, in my opinion.
Same. She can't get to 50 wins fast enough. This was the perfect spot for fucking Kiara to beat her, but we can't do that because we need to get the
Yeah. I thought we were gonna get it too on the roll up, because I was like that's the only way Kira can get back into the conversation after losing on Rampage. So
it's the only thing that made sense, but instead we gotta again. This is why no matter how good the show is, I can never be as happy as the rest of you, because the booking on this just jarringly dumb. Oh, I hate him so much.
Sometimes I can't agree with that. Next was, of course, we did get the the whole announcements of all the cards. As poor Excalibur, man, they fucked him over on this one. He was like off his shit. I felt bad for him on this one. Then
they fucked themselves over, because like nobody's gonna remember what the fuck he even said.
No, not really. And then we had our main event of the evening, Darby Allin challenging for the TNT Championship. Darby got a nice little Seattle-based entrance, huge pop from the Seattle crowd. He hugged, they talked about his training, being trained by Buddy Wayne, and he had Nick Wayne, his son, here in the front row, 17 years old. He has signed to an AEW Futures contract. Also, his mother was right next to him as well. Then we had Samoa Joe come out. Samoa Joe calmly just hands the titles to the timekeeper. Looks like he's just wiping off his bow, and then he decides to attack a teenager. This leads to Darby hitting his suicide dive to the outside. He starts attacking Joe, the king of television, with a skateboard before the bell. He then grabs a ladder from backstage, sets it up on the ramp, and does a swanton onto Joe, bringing him back into the ring where he has the advantage until Samoa Joe cuts him off. He runs Darby Allin into the ring post, and then he dominates the middle portion here. It looks like Joe's about to put him away with the muscle buster, but Darby gets out. He's looking for a roll up, but Joe holds on to the turnbuckle. But during the struggle of holding on to the turnbuckle, he pulls the turnbuckle off, exposing it. Eventually, he gets ran into the turnbuckle. Darby hits one coffin drop, then he hits a second coffin drop and gets the 1, 2, 3. Darby Allin, your new two-time TNT champion. Man, the Seattle crowd was rocking. They were red hot throughout this one. This went about just short 9 minutes, but it was all action. They played this one as well as they could have. Darby Allin, he needed like this kind of reigniting of him, and it felt like he was once again a hot commodity for AEW. Just the reaction to his win, the reaction to the hug with Sting. This was such a lovely moment. I'm sorry. This felt like a dad coming out being like, I'm proud of you, son. And then we end the night with Darby Allin holding the TNT championship. What a great scene at the end here. Just a happy babyface win. after cameras went off the air, Darby Allin also got into the ring and got Nick Wayne into the ring and said when Nick Wayne graduates from high school, he will give him a shot at the TNT Championship. So we got 6 months to wait for that because Nick Wayne did put on Twitter he graduates from high school in 6 months. So what
Nick
did you
Wayne
think?
any good?
He's really good. He's
Now, is he good? Is he good, or is he good in the way everybody thinks Logan Paul is good? Look at these flips.
No.
No.
He's a good wrestler. He's a really good wrestler, especially if you're 17 years old. You should not be that good.
I'm not giving 17 years old passes.
I know you. That's why I said if you're 17, you shouldn't be that good. I didn't say he's good for a 17-year-old. That's why I made sure to specify how I said that. But what did you think about this whole match? And of course, I know you're gonna have some thoughts on the result.
I'm glad we put all this work into Samoa Joe and Wardlow and people like this, so we could use all the energy to bring Darby up back to where he was a couple years ago. This is why people think I'm being over the top. There's a cost to everything. There's a cost to everything. I mean, if you had booked Darby well before, you wouldn't need to rehabilitate him now, which means you can keep Samoa Joe going. Which means you can use energy for somebody else, maybe Nick Wayne or Jungle Boy or fucking somebody. But because you fucked all that up, you got to unfucking now. That aside, it was a good match. I enjoyed the match. The match was, I'd go great even. Samoa Joe is so much fun. I don't know what we do with him now. I hope he doesn't just end up in ROH because I thoroughly enjoy seeing him here. But I don't know. This was fun. If we had to rehabilitate Darby, we did because we fucked it all up by putting him with Sting, a guy who can't. This was good. This was good.
I mean, the only reason I'm down for Sting still sticking with him is because of that promo on Rampage. It proved that he still probably needs Sting to talk for him. Because that got me into this matchup because Sting is a great, and Sting was never a great promo. I don't know what happened. I think it was the TNA run. The TNA run when he had to do different type of characters and stuff. I think that's when he really got into the groove of cutting these great promos. But go out of your way to watch that promo. That was I was like, okay, he needs to stick with Sting for a little bit longer. Especially because he talked first and then Sting talked, and it was just levels. It was levels between them.
Darby. We've already seen Darby's better at like these video packages or maybe like an edited sit down interview and things like this. As far as just fucking speaking off the cuff, it's so awkward. It's weird. It's like, sir, you having a stroke? This is weird.
And we asked for it. We got it, Jimmy. It's a super chat donation from Kid Get Money, who says, thank you so much, Kid Get Money. We appreciate you. He says, Darby Allin winning the title in his hometown. It's like the Jaguars winning at home this Saturday to clinch their first playoff berth since 2017. Call James Storm and Bobby Roode because TK is going to make a killing off my beer money.
That's a winner. Go ahead, sir.
This is one of your best works yet. Kid Get Money. I think I'm going to go back and watch this just to screen grab this because this is one of your better. You brought so many things together here because we talked about TNA earlier as well. So you brought it all together. That's superb.
I do want to say this, by the way. Oh, yeah.
We got EBB who says, I would have loved this even more if this was after a 3-month Joe title reign. Still understandable and good, but man, I thought Joe was starting to hit his element. Yeah, it felt like Joe was starting to bring back the TNT Championship.
Right?
So the only way they can continue this if Darby can have a run similar to his first run, where he was main eventing shows, he felt important, and then eventually, I'm not waiting for the Nick Wayne match. Eventually, I'm waiting for champion versus champion. Give me Darby MJF 2 with Darby as the TNT champion because him challenging as the TNT championship will elevate the TNT title.
That's not where I thought you were going when you did champion versus champion. I thought you were going to go with Orange Cassidy, and then we can get rid of one of these fucking belts because we don't need both of them. They do the same thing.
You could do that as well.
I don't ask for much. Are we going to acknowledge Wardlow getting his hair cut off? Or do they just keep him off TV till it grows back?
I think
because every time they do something I think is over the top, and I go, I love that, they never acknowledge it. Like when Baker fucking choked out Thunder Rose and wiped the makeup off her fucking face. I went, that was amazing. They never acknowledged it happened. Or when fucking Black tried to gouge out Pac's eyes, I thought that's amazing. They never acknowledged it again. Please, because of his hair off, it's hilarious. Please acknowledge it. I don't ask for much.
Yeah, I wish he would have addressed that in the promo earlier in the night.
Oh.
That would have been just subtly. You could say what I did. Well, he kind of did, but I wish he would have emphasized that a little bit more, or maybe even commentary saying it. Maybe would have been. Well, commentary did acknowledge that as well. We just want more emphasis on it. I think that's the key. And we don't want Joe to go down the mirror route of him losing the TNT title and then he disappears. We need more Joe on TV. Joe and Darby, they seem like perfect opponents for each other. So now that they're 1-1, give us the third one. You could save it for Revolution. You could do it on TV, but give me more of this because Joe seems like he's having so much fun beating the crap out of Darby.
And to be fair, as he should. I gotta be honest, part of me is happy Joe doesn't have the belt anymore because we do need some free heels on this roster.
Yeah, and this is the first time in a I think in a year that all the titles are owned by AEW originals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jimmy, let's put our thumbs in the middle. Sound off in the live chat. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle for the show. Out of 10, what did you give the show? Match of the night, MVP and LVP. But me and Jimmy first. Thumbs up or thumbs down for the January 4th, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from me and Jimmy. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
I'm going to give it an 8. I thought it was really good. Aside of some questionable booking decisions, as per usual.
I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I just love that crowd. That crowd just brought everything. There was some stuff that was kind of just average or solid, and they made it even better by just their reaction to it. So love the new set. Loved a lot of things about this show, but I still want to leave room because next week we might be going into the 9s if everything delivers. Match of the night, Jimmy.
This is way tougher than it should be.
It is
3 contenders here.
I got the main event, AR and Swerve and Starks Jericho.
In that order?
No, those are my contenders.
Same. I'm gonna go with Starks Jericho just for that fucking Walls of Jericho spot. I loved it so much. So much.
Look at Hanukkah going with the Acclaimed versus Lethal. That was a guilty pleasure. If you like it, you like it. I did. I'm gonna go with Swerve and AR Fox. That was just, I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I was expecting it to be
guilty
good.
pleasures here, man.
I was expecting it to be good, but I didn't expect it to be that good. MVP.
Fair enough. Not fucking anybody from that Acclaimed Lethal Jarrett fucking match. We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. Guilty pleasure. And the Emmy goes to the fucking Kardashians. Would you stop it? But it's my guilty pleasure. No. Fucking no. No. Beat it. What was the question? MVP? I'm going with MJF. He was so good. That's fucking always.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with MJF.
Agreed, EBB. Absolutely. The match is great.
I'm gonna go with MJF and Danielson. I love that. I love that promo exchange. LVP.
It was fun. It could be Tony Nese. That wouldn't be the wrong choice.
No, I went with Tony Nese and Jeff Jarrett. Your wife got insulted, and you didn't get your receipt, and you thought you won the titles, and then got it taken away.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I might want to go with the baddies because that thing's falling apart fast, and nobody got anything from it. So in that case, you know what, Tony Khan.
Every week, if all else fails, pick Tony Khan. And EBB saying MVP Danielson for not being the first babyface to be like, nah, fuck that.
No, I don't think I will.
Jimmy, please let the people know where they can find you on social media. What you got going on your channel, good sir?
Frantic World, how the fuck is Tony Khan even close to being the MVP of this fucking show? What the fuck is wrong with you, sir? All right. What are we talking about? Right. Get rid of these comments. Fellas must have a stroke. At Jimmy Macram on Twitter, typically, because I don't really use anything else. Instead of Talking to dummies on Twitter. Yeah, and on YouTube at Jimmy Macram.
Absolutely. Check out the channel over there. You can find me on the Twitter machine at True Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at True Heel Heat. We'll be back on the channel tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. We touched on it here, but we're going to go more in depth tomorrow. Myself, NJ News, join us here 11:05 a.m. Eastern time for our NJPW Wrestle Kingdom 17 roundtable review, breaking down all the action. Mercedes Monet's debut, Omega and Ospreay, the main event of Okada and White. Check out tonight on twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming, as we got Blunt Impact episode 104, watching Impact on Access TV. And join us here live on Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time, True Hill Heat 207 with myself, Romeo, and special guest of Post Wrestling, Benno. We're going to be talking about Wrestle Kingdom 17, Sasha Banks to New Japan, and AEW maybe. We'll talk about it all. Join us live, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. But that is Jimmy Macram. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 75. The King is dead. Long live the King. We are signing off until